Oh, hello.
Yes!
You were there, I guess. Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes. I don't know where the dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. There's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform. I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. Sir, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. I think I already know what it is, yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. It's the ink used... Yeah, it's this photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink. A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Ah, the penny drops. At last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. The stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in Dead Student's cabin to make it look like Rodulov Madden did it. Then I pressed button to make Boya do emergency stop and bolt cabin doors shut. Did everything so no one would suspect our Angel. Biff, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Then our Angel came to me. He was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. And I looked inside. And I saw student boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one. My little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like the Angel told you. The kitten escaped... Oh, sorry, that's me. The kitten escaped through the ventilator in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell to the floor? Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she looked to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Miss Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you! When Nina opened doors to student's cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Oh. Yes, that is light. I saw him. He was dark. He was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand. And I believe you. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Something very new slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Holmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. In the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph. It seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, well... Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of luck, broke his neck. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural? His neck?
Yes!
It must be here. Surely. Allow me to offer you a piece of advice regarding the pursuit of detection, my dear fellow. When noting a crucial point, it can be helpful to keep your eyes open. They were open. And it can be equally helpful to use them. Sorry, I'll try that. Yeah, Does he mean the closed fist? You know that the sort of fellow who summons with some regularity. This should be an easy task. Why do I? Yeah, I guess he means the closed fist then.
Yes!
Alright. If he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, as though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Mr. Holmes, show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? Yes. You totally would. Okay. I guess it's an earring. It's probably Miss Pavlova's. This is what I found. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle. Yes, you're right. A crescent moon is very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? Observe, find the answer with your own eyes. Yeah.
Yes!
There we go. Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear, even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding onto it must have broken, I suppose. What? But looking at your other ear, I noticed a crescent moon. I don't believe it. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear, perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. Oh, somebody's disappointed. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no. Angel? No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Ah! Let us finally get the real truth out of her. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible, longer day... Daka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Daka would not come back. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. The young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my flint in my arms again, and I was going to leave this man's cabin... just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? Yeah, I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth. I hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull the cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. And everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted. And then... Tarka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And then... As he turned around to look at me... Ooh... I pushed him! I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. and that's when he went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. I was standing at cabin door, shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere to go." So you decide to help. And that's when you arrange things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one will suspect the passenger in the cabin next door? Yes. And I went into cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe doors and put that strange paper sign. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Cesaro-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to light down floor. I looked that, so that person who found him would look inside the wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. And Andrew went back to her cabin, and I finished job. By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway? Yes. Accordingly, the SS Burya did indeed come to emergency halt a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt in the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you run away from your homeland. It's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if you had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? Yeah. Yeah, mentioning the inspector. He said an inspector was his friend. Ah, yes, meaning me. He was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, I... May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, is Miss Oski really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain. But he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. Oh, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? I think we can. First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night as Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama? Yes, exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. If there's one thing I've learned today, is that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths, And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? This. This is what he was looking at. Considering everything that had happened last night, it certainly may have looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, was directly beside the bell cord, the wardrobe. The wardrobe? And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Miss Oski's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Oski intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh, no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure what Mr. Oski was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had. Yeah. God, this sucks for her. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. And that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. What have I done? And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Buria was finally laid to rest. Dang, we're still going? How long have I been recording for? Hold on. Just check real quick. Oh, nearly 2 hours. Well, this is getting split up quite a bit. Or maybe not, who knows? I mean, I don't know if I'll split it that harshly. Maybe this last part can be a long while. I don't know. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to I think it's repatriate, I guess. Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Holmes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Simon Stroganoff? I wanted to help our Angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you. About you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste. But, well, do you care for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Duh. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yeah, I did stow away after all, and I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. Looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun then. To think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. It seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Suzaru-san? Naruto-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Special Host Naga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. Oh, Suzaru. I still can't believe this has happened. I still can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Suzaru-san. He has such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth. That was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much now, Naruto-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. Who's that? Oh, you. Inspector. My duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain. But I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again now, at least... Huh? Really? Surprise, Mr. Naruto. What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? So I decided to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we say? You are a stowaway after all. He thinks this is funny? Okay, I really do like him. Mr. Holmes, we do appreciate all your assistance, and like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. Oh? The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be? In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but... Poor Suzaru-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. I'm just assuming... Well, clearly Holmes is saying that. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. I already know what he's referring to, but there's no one else with the necessary qualification, Mr. Holmes. We know of no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes? Mr. Zato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... No, I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a whole month in which to study, to learn what I must become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo, that's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody can learn all that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I will work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time you reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? For Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain. And that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Zato? Aww, she's smiling. I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating. Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, despite the accusation of guilt. This man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector? After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm gonna try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you. And, Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been in the Asogi clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Mrs. Zato, it seems to be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. But, before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you, too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. Okay then. Alright, okay. What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door sloughing. No! I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times. Was it 5? I don't know if it was 5. The number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must! Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it! Don't even think about it. I mean, if you're... Look, hey, if that's what you're into, you know, I ain't gonna judge. But I imagine Ryunosuke is not one to hurt a lady. No, I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Haruhodo. Isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Holmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I'm presuming that would be a form of Japanese wrestling? Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently it's called the Suzato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How about Gailing? I'm a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Uh-oh. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Of course. As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed, as that is what you term the Suzato takedown, is it? Actually, no, that was a Suzato squash. Alright. Well, in my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Kuruma? It's probably not pronounced that way, but whatever. That's right, it's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely. A Japanese man stores his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be part from my katana. Okay, I was saying Kuruma, it's probably Karma. Karma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Well, whatever, I mean, who knows what the heck that even is. That important thing you had to do. I still don't know what that was. But I'm gonna see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. And so we shall perhaps be there in the next chapter. And so ends chapter 2 of the story of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. We'll save here. And then, well, that's where I will see you guys next part, where we will start the next chapter and arrive in merry old London. See you guys then. Take care, everybody.